You are also a humanities student. Okay, okay. But you are in the first bench. First bench and all should not answer. Somebody in the back. Nobody wants to. All of you are studying, no? No. This is not told to you, is it? Why? What you're studying is called humanities. Why? Human behavior. Okay, it's about human behavior. All of what you're studying is all about human behavior. Psychology. Okay, psychology is the only thing that's about human behavior. Economics is not about human behavior. No, really? Economics is not about. How many of you think economics is not about human behavior? I think the way I said it, I think psychology gave it away. No? Huh? Can there be economy without human beings? Okay. All right. How many of you like economics? What you're studying? You like economics? Okay. What do you like about economics? Let me hear. At the very end, yeah. What do you like about economics? Money. So there was a Tamil movie that came a few years back. It's called Soodhu Kavum. I don't know if you've seen it or not. There's a very famous song in that movie. How many of you know Tamil? Okay. The very famous song in that movie. It goes Kasu, Pano, Duddu, money. Okay, so good. So economics is all about money, and so you like it. Economics is about so many things. Okay. What about languages? Any of you studying languages? English? Everybody's studying language. How many of you like languages? What do you like about language? Which language? Okay. Generally about studying languages. Why is that interesting? Why is that? Yeah. Okay, that's very interesting. No, communicating. So you just make money and you don't have other people to communicate with. You know what happens? People don't enjoy that as well. I don't know if you heard Bill Gates came out with a statement recently saying he's going to actively try and get out of the Forbes richest people list or something like that. I don't know if you saw that or not. Anyway, it's keeping Bill Gates is at some other level. So let's think of something more reasonable. But communicating with people is very important, right? So that's why we learn language. It doesn't matter which language. All languages are about communicating with others. What else do you guys study? Do you study poetry? Only English poetry? Really? How many of you like poetry? How many of you write poetry? You write poetry? Wow, good. Very nice. Poetry is wonderful, isn't it? Don't you think? Really? Good? No? No. What is the what poet do you study a lot? Any? Rumi? Wow. Wordsworth? Okay. Good. Good. All these things are very nice. Do you study Shakespeare? Do you study him? Yeah. Study? Okay. There's a paper of there's a very technical paper about Shakespeare. You know, Shakespeare, of course, is wonderful to read. Lots of interesting things he has written. There is a paper as someone who has done some work in statistics. I've read a paper about Shakespeare. Okay, what is the connection between statistics and Shakespeare? Do you know what statistics is? Have you studied? Do you study statistics? Okay. So the question that the statistician asked is, how many words did Shakespeare know? Huh? Even in swearing, he used beautiful languages. Okay, all right. Anyway, how many words did Shakespeare know? Is this question even interesting? Why is it interesting to a statistician? Let's forget about Shakespeare. I didn't get your name. Your name is Joshi? Joshua? How many words does Joshua know? A lot. 3? A lot. Very vague, isn't it? Why are such questions important? Why do you think such questions are important? Why did somebody care about how many words Shakespeare knew? Okay, vocabulary is interesting. But you know, we are all engineers. I'm an engineer. We think mostly in terms of making tools that help people, right? Collection of data. Okay, maybe. How many of you use WhatsApp on your phone? What kind of a question is this? So as you type in WhatsApp, what happens when you type? Yeah. So let's take two people. Let's take Joshua. Let's take, I know, let's not go to Shakespeare. I think he's dead. He's probably not using WhatsApp, right? Let's take Shashi Tharoor, right? Do you like Shashi Tharoor? No? Yeah. Yes. Okay. Yeah, so his vocabulary is quite high. He uses, he can talk. I don't know if you've heard him talk in press conferences. He uses words that I think most journalists would probably not understand. It doesn't matter. He has a very rich vocabulary and he can use it in very effective, nice way. I think Joshua also can do that. Yes? No? Oh, what is this? I think he can do it sometimes. So the phone that Joshua is using and typing in WhatsApp, the phone that Shashi Tharoor is using and typing in WhatsApp, do you think it will complete in the same way? How is it that somebody is able to build something, right? That for one person, it's the same thing, no? It's probably, let's assume they're using iPhone 13 or something, both of them, right? Let's assume, for instance, and it's very likely that Shashi Tharoor is using iPhone 13. So maybe we can say that. So the same phone used by two different people somehow has to learn that question that I asked, right? It has to know how many words does this fellow know who's typing on my computer on the phone, and how do I help this person type? And it cannot be the same program doing the same thing, because if Shashi Tharoor is using, he'll expect a different level of sophistication in the completion. While you and I, when we use, probably the number of words we use are very different, and probably half of them are not even valid words. Am I right? Right? Maybe Marathi written in English, Tamil written in English. That's what most people do. So how does one build a tool like that? How do you build a program that is sitting on a phone and is able to complete the sentences that you start typing, and it's adapting to the person who's using, right? It's adapting to the person who's using. I mean, it's learning from what you have typed so far, and it's able to give you very meaningful answers. Do you agree? Most of the time it completes correctly. You're able to easily go through. It's a great question to ask. So even though you may be studying in language, you may be thinking of language as a mode of communication. There is an engineering problem, many engineering problems associated with language and tools that you can build to help people communicate better. And a lot of these things are done through something called language models. You can look it up. Language models, these are statistical objects that are used for instance, for completion. Okay, and this language model is specific to each person's vocabulary and their ability to use the language. This is one example I thought I would give a group of humanities students about how what you study as a medium of communication from a human point of view can also be seen from an engineering point of view for building a tool. And these kind of models use data, learn from what you do and all that. So it's very important to collect data and understand that. So that's one example. The other example, I want to go back to money, because I think all of you are so excited about money, and I should say less excited about language. Okay. Do you know what the sensex is? What is it? What is the expansion for sensex? All of you said you knew what the sensex is. Yes. Okay. BSc or NSc? Okay, yeah, sure. So I think it's called sensitive or something like that. Okay. So the top performing or top 100, the stocks of some top 100 companies that are traded there, their value or some sort together is put out as Sensex. Why is Sensex important? Why is it important? All of you study economics, right? Do you study about stock market and all that? No? Not yet, huh? You're in Mumbai, you should know the stock market already. Most of you should be trading already, no? You're not allowed to trade? How many of you have demat accounts? Nobody. Oh, see, there are two guys who have demat accounts already in your own class. You didn't know. Catch them. Make sure you know. Get to know them very well. Okay. So the money you invest in the stock market, a lot of people invest money. You can ask maybe your parents or relatives who earn money. A lot of money gets invested on behalf of us in the stock market. A lot people like us, we expect to have a pension when we retire, and that pension money is invested in the stock market. And the money you get back depends on things like this Sensex, how well companies do and all that. Okay. So right now, what do you think that BSE Sensex is? What is the value? There is a number that comes out every day, right? And it keeps getting updated over each day. It will be some number. I don't know what it is. It's been a while since I kept track of these things. Do you know? Yeah, 52,000. About 10 years back, 20 years back, when I started as a faculty in IITM, it was something like 3,000, 4,000. Right? Today it's 52,000, and people are saying it will keep on increasing. So companies are doing well. Stock market is doing well. The numbers, the trading of stocks is doing well. And there's a lot of money you can make if you can predict what will happen to the value of stock of different companies. That much all of you maybe by now you know, right? So lots of legal and illegal ways in which you can make money of the stock market, and the legal way to make it depends on your ability to predict what will happen to the stock market. How do you think that is done today? Who do you think does that today? Who do you think that's done? Brokers do it. You think brokers? Okay, brokers use that information. Where do the brokers get their information about predictions on stock prices? I'm sorry. Insider. Okay, that's illegal. So he's talking about the illegal way to make money of the stock market. You can get arrested. You can go to jail. Even in India, you can go to jail today if you use insider information. Insider information is what? Somebody in the company is giving you critical data about how the stock market is going to go. Okay, so that is not allowed. You're not supposed to do that. Okay, so the legal way to do it is what? There are a lot of companies which specialize in exactly that, being able to predict what will happen to stocks, and they sell that information to a lot of brokers, and brokers are also associated with companies, etc., etc. So many trading firms out there. Banks do this trading all the time. So many investment companies. Bombay is full of them, right? Any of your parents or relatives work for such companies? Do you know? Yeah, see, there's one person. Okay, those people make a lot of money. Okay, I can tell you. Some of my own good friends work there. How do you think that works? How do you think they predict? How can you predict? Yeah, so you have to look at what happened to the stock market in the past. And just by looking at that, looking at the data from the previous few days, previous few weeks of the stock market, you can make very intelligent predictions on what will happen in the future. Okay. So I gave you two examples. One was language models. It's running on your own phones, and they are predicting what you will type next. Next are these big ticket firms spending a lot of money, crores of rupees. I can tell you top students from IIT Madras who graduate today get employed by these firms. They get paid hundreds of thousands of dollars, not hundreds, 100,000 plus dollars a year. They sit in New York City somewhere and do work for these hedge funds and investment brokering firms, predicting how the finance market, the stock market is going to behave. Okay, many of them sit in Mumbai also, by the way. I mean, it's not just that. These guys get paid crores of rupees every year Okay, and they are also doing something very similar, right? This is what happened in the past. I'm going to predict this is what's going to happen in the future, this time to a stock market as opposed to what you're typing. And believe it or not, some of the fundamental principles in both these things are roughly the same. And they all go back to something called data science. Okay, so data science is a very powerful area and a very useful area. It's used today, not just in language and stock market, it's used everywhere. So the first part of this lecture, which is actually about this Bachelor of Science program that IITM is running today on data science and applications, is about what this data science is. Okay, I'm not going to give you too many technical details and in-depth information about it. You can join the program and find out, of course, for yourself. I just want to touch upon the applications, few applications here, there, so that you want just to convey to you that whatever field you may end up in, you may end up in arts, humanities, language, economics, wherever, you will be doing some data science in the future. Data is going to drive many things in life, and that's a given. It's just like computers are there everywhere. Data collection and prediction from data is going to happen everywhere. That's very important for you to learn. Okay, wherever you go, try to make sure that you learn about this data science. Okay. Now, a few questions that you may ask is, I forgot about math after 10th standard, right? Whoever gave you that advice that you should not learn math, I think that's very bad advice, by the way. You should learn math. That's what I think. But is that dead end for me? I mean, you might legitimately ask, right? Can you come back without doing math in 11th and 12th and still learn about data science? It turns out yes. The answer is yes. Through this program, you can. Doesn't matter that you did not do math in 11th and 12th. You can still do data science. Okay. So those are the two main introductory things. Let me talk a little bit more. There are a lot of slides. Also do justice to my colleagues and people like Bharati who spent a lot of time creating these slides. So let me go through the slides also. I think this question is maybe not very relevant. Next question. Okay, so these are just a selection of areas where I think, or we think, or many people think data science is going to play a role. Okay, so if you look at energy, I can give you so many examples. I'm just trying to think what to highlight. I'll highlight health. Health is an area where data is going to play a huge role. Okay, it's so for instance, I think all of you are very young, very healthy. Maybe you had some people who had to go to hospital often. If you go to a hospital, how do you think the doctor is arriving at some decision on what to do? Yeah, studying the case. What kind of input does the doctor have when they study the case? Medical history, yeah. Some blood test maybe, right? So they would do some test. Family history, current health. Then maybe they'll ask you to go to an X-ray, MRI, this, that, whatever, all that data. So everything that the doctor collects is actually data about the patient. About what's happening inside your body, what's happening inside your head, inside your hand, maybe whatever, right? So just data. And believe it or not, medical science actually has a big collection of such data from different individuals of the same type as you. And the doctor who's sitting in front of you has looked at that data and knows roughly that if this happens, then this is most likely the problem with this individual. Let me start treating like that. Okay, based on symptoms and data, doctors make decisions. So now this kind of data collection is becoming huge in health today. Okay, you might have heard about DNA sequencing. Have you heard about DNA sequencing? If you see all these forensics-based investigative movies, they'll say with DNA you can learn everything. What they say, right? So huge banks of DNA are being created. DNA data of people is being collected, and people are analyzing these things. So health is going to get revolutionized with data in the upcoming few months. So now, why, as humanities students, should you be interested in this? This raises a lot of ethical questions, human questions about what people should do with this data. Who does this data belong to? What kind of decisions can be made? So let's say, for instance, if by looking at the DNA of this person, you can predict very, very well what will happen to this person when they are 12-year-old, 15-year-old. Maybe you can predict that, okay, this person has an aptitude for sports or aptitude for, this kind of thing, that kind of thing. Maybe you can predict all that. Do you then enforce that on the person? Do you get to do it? So there are human questions of this nature. Okay. So if people who are studying humanities do not understand data science, how are they going to answer such questions? How are they going to give their inputs on what to do in these kind of situations? So this is ethics in AI. I don't know if you heard about this term. It's a big term that's coming up, and very important for a diverse group of students to know what data science is, what kind of information can be gleaned from data, and what kind of information, and what use should it be put to. And as ordinary citizens of a country, you should know this, because your country may decide to do something based on this kind of data. Then you should know whether or not that's okay. So just a collection of various things. Retail is another wonderful example. OTT platforms are another example which use data a lot. Retail, if you go to Amazon, for instance, many of you might be buying stuff from Amazon. It tends to give you predictions on what you may like. Okay, quite often that ends up being good. And Netflix, for instance, keeps giving you predictions also, right? So these kind of predictions are also very interesting. I think the next slide is about that. Okay, just to show you a bunch of things. I'm not sure if I should highlight anything in particular here. Sports is something that's very interesting. I gave a couple of examples in the last lecture, so I thought I'll avoid it this time. So fraud detection. Okay, fraud detection, particularly in insurance and in banks giving loans. I think that all of you talked about economics. How does a bank decide whether or not to give loan to someone? Okay, again, data is sometimes something that's used a lot for this reason. Social media, of course, right? So social media, as it's very controversial again. Again, there is a human element. Okay, I don't know if any of you have been following. Elon Musk wanted to buy Twitter. He put up a huge bunch of money, and then it's probably pocket change for him, right? So anyway, and then he pulled back out of it, right? Do you see that? He went back against it. So the kind of data that Twitter and WhatsApp and Facebook have, and the way they're able to influence. So today, elections are decided by these things. I don't know if you know, every political party in the country today, in your own state today, you should go look it up, has hired data scientists. There is a data group, social media expert analytics data group, that every political party in our country has. Why? Why would they hire data scientists? To decide on election strategy. Who to talk to, how to talk, how do you pitch what to people, how are people making decisions on who to vote for. And in many countries, including India, many elections have been swung by such people. It's huge impact that it has on you. Many of you may not even realize. It'll be really surprising to you, based on your inclinations, the kind of forwards that you get, right, on WhatsApp or something, are very different from what somebody else will get. Okay, and many of us, once we have a certain type of belief and we form groups in a certain way, we don't go outside of those groups, right? We are all in that community, in that group. So you only get those kind of forwards. These are studied very closely, and then these people make very interesting predictions based on that. So anyway, so hopefully I've convinced you. You should be interested in data science. Okay, whatever area you may go to, it is something that's very critical for the future, not just from a money-making point of view, also there, but from a human point of view, it's something that can have a huge impact. Okay, now comes a couple of interesting questions, and maybe you should answer this. Okay, so after listening to me for so long, do you agree with what I said? Data science is something, yeah. Just don't believe me alone. You should go do some lookup of your own, talk to other people, what they think about it, whether anything of what I said is true or am I making up stories. Okay. So that's something important, and think about it. Okay, so definitely this, in my opinion, it's very important. Opinion of many people, it's very important that more and more people should study data science, not just from a awareness point of view, also from an employment point of view. One of the studies that was done by employment firms, I don't know how true that is, but at least they're predicting every year we need 500,000 data scientists apparently. Yeah, if they say 500,000, at least 50,000 should be true. So a lot of data scientists are needed every year for just all these companies. You saw all the applications, right? All these guys need data scientists. So there's lots of jobs out there, just in terms of employment. Very, very useful. Okay. How many of you have heard about IIT? IIT. Everybody has heard? Hopefully, yeah. Right. So have you thought about studying in an IIT ever? Yes. No. Yes. Is it very easy to study in an IIT? No. Why is it not very easy to study in an IIT? Competition. Okay. Why is there competition for getting into IIT? Limited seats and all that. Okay. So I'll tell you some more numbers. I mentioned these numbers in the previous lecture. Apologies to people who are there again. I'll give you some more numbers. The number of students or number of people in the age group of 18, 19 or so in India is roughly around 230 lakhs or so. 230, I think you can look up in the census. So around 230 lakhs or so. Okay. Out of that, about 120 lakhs come up to 12th standard. Okay. A lot of students don't finish 12th standard. Okay. You may wonder, I think among your circles, maybe everybody is doing 12th standard. Is that correct? Okay. But that's only about half of you. There is another half which is not able to afford to go up to 12th standard for various reasons. So this is the reality in our country. Okay. Out of that 120,000 that gets out of 12th standard, I don't know, you call it junior college here, I think, right? Equal. About 80,000 get into college. I mean, not sorry, 80 lakhs get into college. Okay. Is that okay? 80 lakh. I mean, what happens to the remaining 40 lakh? You should ask these questions. Okay. So nobody knows that much. Only 80 lakh get into college. Out of that 80 lakhs, about 8 to 10 lakhs is engineering, maybe 10, 11 lakhs is engineering. A huge number does BA, BSc, BCom, 65 lakhs plus. Yes, a few others are law and medicine, and medicine now is 85,000 or something, very, very small. Okay. And even inside that 8 to 12, 10 to 10 to 11 lakhs, which does engineering, the number of people who get into IITs is 25,000. So 25,000 divided by, you can decide what you want to put in the denominator. Do you want to put 240 lakhs or do you want to put 120 lakhs? Do you want to put 10 lakhs? In fact, number of people who write JEE every year to try and get into engineering is about 10 lakhs. Okay. A number of people who write advanced JEE to try and get into IIT is about 1.5 to 2 lakhs. Okay. There are only 25,000 seats in IIT. Because these are campuses and inside that there has to be buildings and hostels and all that, the government cannot afford to spend any more money to increase the number of seats in IITs. Okay, so these are all sort of economic, money and human reasons why there's such intense competition in this country for getting into IITs, and very few people can get in there. Okay, but this competition is sort of not very representative, in my opinion, of the ability of students. Many students have abilities, and to learn data science, you don't need to be Einstein. It's not like everyone, only the really, really smart, brainy kids can learn data science. Data science and computer programming can be learned by many people, and you can be very good at it without being one of the greatest minds of the century or something like that. It need not be like that. Okay. So given all these things, people like me in IIT Madras sat together with a lot of people, thought about how do we reach this huge number of students in this country and teach them data science, which, like I told you, is very important. Teach them data science and give them something valuable like an IIT degree. Okay, it's for them to learn it well and become experts in this. And start from anywhere, start from wherever you are, whoever you are. You should be able to come in, and as long as you're willing to put in the hard work to study well, progress, you should be able to earn a degree from an IIT and have that attached to your name forever. Okay, can we do that? Is that doable? Does it look doable to you? Yes, he's saying yes. Okay, it's a difficult thing to do. Okay, anyway, so so that is something that this program is offering for you. Okay, this BS in data science from IIT Madras is a program designed from that point of view. Okay, to reach this kind of a scale, one of the things we have done is we have kept the instruction as online. Okay, the delivery of the course is done online. There is no campus associated with the program as such. The delivery is online. Okay, however, this is from an IIT. Okay, all exams are in person. Every month there will be an exam. You have to go to a center in your own city and write the exam. Okay? So the nature of the program is like that. So we wanted to build an undergraduate program, a Bachelor of Science program from one of the top institutes in the country and deliver it to as many people as possible in a non-competitive way and still maintain quality and rigor and value for the degree. Okay? And this is the way in which we have come out with a solution. So we deliver the course online, keep all exams in person, and whoever can pass can go ahead and get the degree. All of you are familiar with the CA program? CA works roughly like that, right? In the commerce stream. Anybody can write. Only those who pass get it. Those who don't pass. So something like that is what we wanted to attempt. And we've already started it. We have done 2 years of this program. We are in the second year. People are yet to graduate, but people are doing really, really well in the program. Okay. So what I'm going to talk from now on, I think I've taken about 20 minutes. I want to finish in another 20 minutes or so. Is talk about how this program works, how this BS in data science and applications from IIT Madras works, how somebody joins the program, how they study in this program, and how they can graduate and become alums of IIT Madras from this program. Is that okay? Right, so let's go on. So this is admission. Okay, everything starts with admission, and the admission for this program works in a very, very different way. There is no entrance exam. There is no ranking. Okay, it is non-competitive. It is based on qualification. The only person you are competing against is yourself. Okay, can you qualify? If you qualify, you're in. There are no limitations in seats. There is no ranking. Okay, you cross the bar, you're in. You show the aptitude for this program, right? You can qualify, you get admission. Okay, so how does this work? You have to apply for the qualifier, what we call as the qualifier process. Applications are open round the year. We do it 3 times a year: September, January, and May. Okay, the next immediate one will be in September. If you go to our website, onlinedegree.iitm.ac.in, you can right now apply for the September qualifier. Okay, of course, you can join only after you finish your 12th, but you can apply for the qualifier anytime. Okay, so once you apply, there will be a 4-week period when we will train you on 4 different subjects. The training is online, just like the rest of the program. The training is online. Lectures will be up on the portal. You have to go see the lectures. There will be problems that you have to solve. The lectures will be put up. There will be problems that will come. Okay, so it's IIT, right? You not only just see and nod and be happy, you have to solve problems. Okay, there'll be problems, there'll be guidance, there'll be help. Like you can clear doubts. If you have doubts, there'll be people who will hold live sessions. You can go there and clear your doubts. You can ask questions on a forum. There'll be a lot of help. Okay, why are we doing this? The reason is we do not want you to go and do coaching elsewhere. We are teaching you what you need to know for the qualifier exam. Okay. There are 4 subjects. The subjects are English, mathematics, statistics, and computational thinking. These 4 subjects are the 4 subjects in your first semester of the program. Okay. So there's nothing new in it. You start off by studying them. They start at a very school level only. You need only 10th standard maths and English. We don't assume anything beyond that. So everybody is sort of on the same footing. You come in for 4 weeks, you learn online with us, you look at the problems, and you can get your doubts cleared and you can practice with us. We teach you for 4 weeks. Okay, there's one more thing there. Every week there will be an assignment. These are online assignments. You have to submit that during these 4 weeks. If you submit the assignments, you will become eligible for the qualifier exam. Right? Once you become eligible, you will get a hall ticket for the exam. After 4 weeks, there will be a date. It will be on a Sunday. You have to show up in the center and write the exam. The exam itself will be for about 4 hours. Okay, 1 hour for each of the subjects. Okay, so it's not that big. 4 hours is okay. Okay, so and all you have to do is cross the cutoff in each of these subjects. Cutoff is about 50 out of 100. You cross 50 and the exam is fully based on what we taught you in these 4 weeks. Nothing outside of that. It's not something you learned from somebody else. Okay? Only in these 4 weeks, what we taught you is asked. If you cross 50, guess what? You're admitted to the foundation level of the programming and data science program at IIT Madras. Okay. Sounds okay? Yes, okay. Good. So this is the brand new qualifier admission process, completely based on qualification, and you can see how it is designed. All the objectives I told you. We don't want you to already have gone to coaching, spent lakhs of rupees from 3rd standard studying JEE coaching. We don't want that. We don't want that you already know physics and chemistry and mathematics from school. We don't want that. We don't want you to go to coaching elsewhere. We don't want anything else. You just come, you show your interest, you study hard, do well in the exam, you're in. No competition, nothing. Okay. So once you get admission, what happens? Okay, so I should tell you more about the program. This is just the admission. Slide. This is what happens in the program. The structure of the program is very, very different from a typical college degree. Okay, here in this college, you've seen people do a degree, right? What happens in a degree? You join the degree. After 3 years, if you pass every semester, you will get the degree. That's it, right? So this program works in a different way. It's according to what's in India is called the new National Education Policy of 2020. Okay, so it's a different program. It has multiple exit points at different levels. Okay, the program itself has 4 different levels. There is the foundation level, diploma level, there is a BSc degree level, and then there is a BS degree level. The 4 different levels in this program. After you qualify, you enter the foundation program. Okay, you will enter here. Okay, there are 8 subjects in the foundation program. These sort of build up the foundation, as the name implies. Okay, and brings you up to the correct level needed to get into the skills of the program. There are 8 courses in it, 8 subjects in it. It is one of the lowest priced in this entire level. Okay, so you can try it. So you qualified and you can keep trying. And as you pass the foundation level, when you complete all these 8 subjects in the foundation level, you can move to the diploma level. That's how the program progresses. You can, of course, if you pass also, you can choose to leave at the end of the foundation level. You will get a certificate. Okay, so you'll get something. That's the first exit. You can choose to do that. Okay, so to give you some data, okay, like I said, this is a data science program, so I should give you some data. We started doing qualifiers from January 2021. Okay, so this program is 1.5 years old, roughly like that. Okay, so far we have done 5 or 6 qualifiers, I think 5, right? 5 qualifiers. We have done 5 qualifiers so far, right? I said January, May, September, right? So 5 qualifiers we have done so far. More than 70,000 students have applied for this program. Okay, out of that 70,000, about 15,000 or so qualify. Okay, so that's a big fraction, right? See, I told you some divisions before. There was this 25,000 divided by 10 lakhs or something. So this is just 15,000 divided by 70,000. Okay, so it's greater than 20%. So a lot of people are able to qualify. Okay, out of that 15,000 or so, more than 13,000 students are currently in the program in various stages. Okay, about 9,000 are in the foundation level. More than 4,000 have moved to the diploma level. They are in the diploma level. In fact, there is one student here in the diploma level in the program. She's right here. You can ask her if you have any questions. She's in this college also, right? She's studying. One more information I should tell you. You can do this program along with any other on-campus program. You can be in a BSc or a BA or anywhere else in a campus. You can also do this. Two things you can do together. That's allowed according to UGC regulations. Is that okay? So you can move to the diploma year. Okay. Once you go to the diploma level, again, there's more to learn. There are two different type of things you can learn. You can either learn programming, which is about how to build these apps that you're using on your phone, or you can learn data science, or you can do both. All three are possible. Okay. There are more subjects there. From the diploma level, the cost is a little bit higher. Okay, but maybe not a little bit, significantly higher. And then once you finish the diploma, you can choose to exit if you want. You will get official diplomas of IIT Madras. These are diplomas given from the Board of Governors of IIT Madras. It goes with the seal of IIT Madras. You can choose to exit here if that's enough for you, or you can choose to continue to the degree level. Okay. As of now in the program, there's a small group of people who already finished diplomas. They finished one diploma. About more than 100 have finished one diploma. And in the September term, we expect about 50 or 60 students to move into the degree level. And that number is going to increase as we go along. More than 500, I think, will finish diploma in the next term. More than 500 will move into the degree year in the January term, degree level in the January term. The numbers are increasing. We speak. Okay. And of course, if you finish here these 7 subjects, you can exit with a BSc degree. Now, this BSc degree is a BSc in programming and data science from IIT Madras. Once again, it comes with the stamp and seal. I'll show you the certificate at the end. It is a very much a degree of IIT Madras. You become an alum of IIT Madras at that point. Once again, you can choose to stop there, or you can continue to the next level. 7 more subjects. You get a BS degree in data science and applications. This BSc, somebody was asking, BS is also Bachelor of Science, but it's accepted as a 4-year degree. Usually people think of BS as a 4-year degree. It's a much more common thing in the US, for instance. Okay. So this is how the program structure works. You pay fee only for the courses you register for. You don't pay a whole fee in the beginning. You only pay as you go. So it's very affordable. It's we have a lot of rebates for lower income groups. If your family income is less than 5 lakhs, there is a 50% rebate in the fee. If your family income is less than 1 lakh, there's a 75% rebate in your fee. In fact, every student who's in the less than 1 lakh family income category today in this program is studying for free. We have enough sponsorships from corporate bodies, so we're able to get them to study for free. Every girl student less than 5 lakh family income is studying for free. We're able to give scholarships there also. Okay, so there's good scholarships possible for people to do this. It's very flexible. There are 3 terms in a year. Normally you have 2 semesters in a year, right? And only some courses will be offered in 1 semester. Some other courses will be offered in 1 semester. Here we have 3 terms in a year, and every course is taught every term. So it's ultra flexible. You can choose to take it easy 1 term, etc., etc. All of that is possible. Yeah, so you can take breaks. You can, even if you're going abroad, you can do this. We have exam centers in the Gulf, in Singapore. We do exams for people in the US. So it's possible for us to do this for people from abroad also. This is the structure of the program. I hope I gave you a little bit of a glimpse. There are more answers coming up later. Okay. So what are the main aspects of this program? From our point of view, what we think are the most interesting things about the program. First is there's no competitive exam. for admission to an IIT. Okay? And you have really good quality teachers teaching you, top faculty from IITM, various other IITs also. It's even though the degree is given by IIT Madras, we have faculty from so many other IITs, and that's okay. And the other very interesting thing is this one. Okay, any stream, any age. Okay, so in fact, in the program today, there are people who are more than 70 years old. They're just doing it out of their interest, right? What else will they get after this? Many parent-child combinations. Many children who do it along with their moms and dads. Because anybody can learn this. There's no stopping this, right? In many colleges and schools, teachers also do this program. Okay, so anybody can do this. And if you know relatives of yours or anyone who had to take a break from college for whatever reason, right? Financial reason, they can come back and redo their college from an IIT. They want to. Okay. This is one more point I want to emphasize. There is this general feeling that if something is online, it's very easy, right? Everybody can pass. It's very easy. You don't have to put in a lot of effort. So now that is not true in this program. Okay, you can ask her. She's here in the program. You have to put in your time and work. Okay, every week there are so many hours of lectures. There are so many hours for solving problems. You have to put in that work. When you put in that work, you get, you progress, you pass courses, things happen for you. And there is support for placements also. Okay, so we have a placement group dedicated for this program that will create opportunities for the students in the program. Of course, the biggest carrot is you can get a degree from IIT Madras. You can become an alum of IIT Madras, get connected with that group. That's always wonderful. Okay, so what is it to be a student in the program, right? So today, look at students in the program. What do they see? What is out there? So this is the distribution of age. Hope you can read this chart. Out of the 12,000 odd students that are there in the program, less than 20 is some 3,500. Less than 30, if you look at it, 10,000, right? So 10,500 or so. So huge number is less than 30, but there is a spread even above 30. Okay. In fact, like I said, 3 are above 70. Okay. So there's a wide age group. So what will happen in a typical class in this program is you will have students who are in college, young students, and then there'll be people who are working in companies. Then there'll be teachers, and then there are very old people also. So there's this wonderful mix of different types of students, and the student community is very vibrant and active and interesting from that point. If you look at roles also, right? So you see student here is a large majority, but then you have this employed category. More than 2,500, around 2,500 or so are actually working now. So while you're learning, you're also learning with people who are working in companies, right? So you get contacts, you build up, connections for doing internships, this, that, all that is happening quite well in the program. And you can see the background. Engineering and technology is a big number, but you also have enough number of people from arts, science, and commerce backgrounds also. Okay, so big mix, a very diverse and a very interesting group. And I should say more, the next few slides are about student life. Let's go to that. So this is the geographical spread. Every state is very well represented. You have people from every single state, but you can see the top few are Tamil Nadu, Maharashtra, UP, Kerala, like what you can expect from a typical distribution. Okay. By the way, why is Tamil Nadu and Maharashtra on the top of the list in any such data that you collect? Economics, anybody knows? Population? Anyway, think about these things. These are interesting economic questions, human questions you can think of. What about student life? Is it boring to be a student in a program like this? Do you have a life, or is it interesting? Is it enjoyable? We try our level best to make it as interesting as possible for students to engage themselves in various activities. We divide them up into houses. There are some 12 houses named after forests in the country. And the houses are quite active in different ways, doing various activities together. In the last month, in the month of May, 2 months back, we had a big event for all students on campus, in IITM campus. It was called Paradox 22. More than 2,000 students of this program assembled on campus. They were in campus for three days. We had cultural events, we had sports events, we had technical events, We had hackathons, startup events, things like that. It was really, really fantastic 3 days. I think you were also there. Yeah, so she was saying that. So it was very, very interesting to have all the students there. It's an amazing experience. The kind of talent, at least that I saw on display, I was really blown away. Really, very, very wonderful to see that. A very active student group, which engages very nicely. There's a few more pictures of that. Next slide. So here are some pictures from the clubs, various different clubs that the students run, music, arts, competitions. All of those things happen. I think there are some rock bands, etc. Various things I didn't know. I think there was, what was that called with the mouth? They were doing some drums. What is it called? What is it called? Beatbox. So I didn't know that term at all. And there was like this big group which was doing that. It was really impressive. There's poetry also. Mentioned poetry. Good. So there's some leaders, just to give you a glimpse of what type of students there are. All the groups have group leaders and mentors and all that. And some pictures just to show that there are real people behind these things. The bottom three maybe are very interesting. All three are working professionals in industry. Here is a startup founder. In fact, a lot of people who run startups are part of the program, and very interesting to see that. And here's another person who's also an entrepreneur who's in the program. So very really diverse group of students. It's amazing to see them, interact with them, and be part of that community. Okay, so when we started this program, one of the things we were really focused on was job opportunities. Are there really many job opportunities for these graduates? If you do a data science degree or a diploma, are you going to get a better job? What kind of job it is, etc. And we were quite impressed that over any particular type of industry that you looked at, right? All of them were recruiting data scientists. Automobile industry, like for instance, Chennai is well known for automobile industries. You go and ask them, they are very much interested in recruiting data scientists. Everybody is interested in recruiting data scientists. So that is definitely true. In various roles, you can see the type of roles that are coming out. So many roles are out there, and this is something that convinced us really to go for a program of this nature. And from IITM side, we do a lot of very strong support to make sure we prepare people for placements as well. We do mock interviews, soft skill training. In fact, the course has 4 projects at the diploma level that you have to do and do a viva. And we invest a lot of time and effort in running those vivas. So really we train people for getting jobs. There is something we're actively planning for the 4th year is an apprenticeship program where you can actually already start working for a company and do the 4th year. So it's a very interesting kind of thing that's shaping up on the placement front. Next. So finally, that's the degree, right? So this is the degree that IITM always gives, the exact same replica. It says Bachelor of Science in Programming and Data Science. There's no online or anything. It's just the degree. And the photo of the person right there, you can imagine. Come here, maybe take a picture with this backdrop if you want to. So this is a degree that awaits people who are in the program. It's a big attraction, in my opinion, at least. It's very valuable to have a degree from an institution like IIT Madras. A few frequently asked questions, just based on things that I might not have emphasized in what I spoke about. A lot of people ask, is this a valid degree? So this question a lot of people ask, but it's a new degree, right? Everybody will ask it. So this is a degree that's offered officially by IIT Madras through its board, through its Senate. It's absolutely as valid as any other degree that IIT Madras gives, right? So there's no distinction from that. Can you do it alone or with another degree? Yes, both are possible. You can do this degree on its own or along with another campus degree. Most of the students are doing it along with another campus degree. So many of them might do a diploma, and the diploma itself is pretty strong for getting jobs. There are no regulatory issues. Oh, sorry, that's something important to change. There used to be some regulatory issues. Recently, the UGC removed all of these things. They came out with very clear guidelines. So that is wrong. Should delete it. Line is not needed. Okay. But let me also emphasize these 2 things. Don't think it's just an online degree. I know I can do this. I know online. I know somebody else will help me. This, that. All that will not work for you. You have to put in your time. For every subject you register for, you'll have to spend 10 to 15 hours a week. If you don't do that, you will not succeed in this program. And you have to write these exams. And the exams will come every month. It's something you have to prepare. Right? It's an IIT degree at the end of the day. You have to work. Right? We will make sure that you work to get this degree. It's not easy to get it. So you have to put in that time. So you're not competing with anybody else. So that way there's no competition, but you're definitely competing with yourself. You will push yourself to limits to make sure that you can study very hard. Okay, that much definitely will be tested. Okay. So, and few important aspects. Any age is okay. Any background is okay. We require no hard work, energy, enthusiasm from your side, and of course, maths and English in 10th. Okay? Even people who are working, people who are taking a break, people who are already doing something. Many people who are working are also doing this. Not just regular people. There are a couple of vice presidents of companies, big companies, who are in the program. We asked them, why are you doing this program? It's just, they're already very senior. They missed out on the foundations of these things, and no program teaches the foundations, right? And then they like the IITM brand and they're associated with it. Okay, I think that's the last slide. No, there's one more slide. Sorry. What should you do? Okay, now that you listen to this and you're interested and enthusiastic, what should you do? The main website is onlinedegree.iitm.ac.in. You need a computer, you need an email ID, you need an email ID for yourself. That definitely is needed. Then a good internet connection, you can go ahead, apply. Right now there is a, yeah, you can apply now and right. The next qualifier is coming in September. You can do that. And of course, you can join only after you finish 12th. Okay, so only after you finish 12th, that will be in earliest will be May 2023. So you can apply. You can go through the qualifier now in September or even in January. At the end of September, there's a qualifier exam in October. In fact, there are two chances we give. We give October and November. And together, if you can cross the cutoff in all those subjects, then you get. Okay, so that's the last slide. Let me leave this there. If there are any questions, very happy to address. Yes. Yes, there's always a fee. For every stage, there's a fee. Okay. The qualifier right now is 3,000 rupees fee for the whole thing, 4 weeks of training plus the exam and everything. And after that, there is a fee for the program. There is a fee that you have to pay, but you pay as you go. You don't pay anything upfront entirely. So it works. Yes. So because I asked in the previous lecture that somebody has to ask, so she's asking. What kind of pay can you expect? It depends a lot on the individual, right? Right. So if you look at any college, it's not that everybody gets the same pay. Okay. Our director puts it very well in Tamil. It says package depends on your moharasi. Moharasi is what? Moharasi is what in English? How would you translate it? Huh? Hindi, yeah? Hindi as a translation. Maybe you can say luck. I don't know. Moharasi is like that. Luck associated with your face. It's a Tamil word, by the way. Anyway, I think what I hear is pretty good pay packages. I think 8 to 10 lakhs comes to mind as a rough number, but that's roughly what we are targeting. But I don't know where it'll end up. I mean, a lot of that also depends on the economy and how India is doing in the next year. So many. Yeah, what else are you doing also matters. So many things matter. Your CGPA in the program will matter definitely big time, right? All these things will matter in a big way. But yeah, that's. Any other question? Very happy. Seriously, no question. We are tired, ready to go. Last lecture. Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for paying attention. Happy days.
Thank you so much, Professor Andrew, for enlightening us. And I would also like to thank Ms. Bharti. Now I request my friend Myra to propose a formal vote of thanks. Over to you, Myra. Sure, ma'am.
Just I don't know what is missing in the crowd. Just to inform you, this session is basically on to show what is a career opportunity you should apply after your 12th. Most of the time who come to me, students who complete the degree, then can we do something? So in the during your academic career only, you should take all add-on skills. So there is an opportunity where you can do dual degree. This is one option. So you can talk to your parents, you yourself can browse through and find the opportunities. If you find that you can take up this skill by doing the qualifier exam, then you can go ahead with it. Okay, just a short story because the crowd is almost tired. Just wanted to share, which I have come across. One of the stories said to me that a person, sir, if you don't mind, yeah, a person was walking. You know ना जैसे vagabond रहता है ना, you are aware ना, हाँ, he was walking through a dense forest. Okay, very dense forest. He was alone and walking through it. He has to cross on his way. He has to cross the forest. Okay, he was going through that way, and he found a voice coming. He was going through a waterfalls, and there were pebbles. So he was just going through that waterfalls, and he heard that when he was crossing the bridge, he pick up the pebbles, put it in your pocket. Is it something very strange? He just overlooked, went ahead. Again, he got a voice, pick up the pebbles, put it in your pocket. Fine. Again, he went ahead. The voice was repeated. He thought once again, until unless I don't pick up the pebbles, means stones, and put it in my pocket, I won't be able to trespass. So he took that, put it in the pocket. Fine. Again, he got the voice, pick up the pebbles, put it in the pockets. Fine. He took it, he crossed the bridge, he came out of the forest. Then when he came out, he put the hands in his pocket and took it out. It turned out to be a gemstones. So you are the gemstones of SIES. Whatever opportunities are coming, pick up that and come out as a gemstones. Okay. Fine.
Thank you, Prajna. Thank you, Mahalakshmi ma'am. Today's session was indeed highly knowledgeable, and I'm sure it will be of great use to all the youth present here. Hereby, I'm highly thankful to our resource person who have invested efforts and precious time. I want to thank out loud to our audience for sparing time in attending this program. It's my due responsibility to thank our team for extending all sorts of resource and support over and above. I would like to thank our college authorities for facilitating access to space and connectivity. Thank you so much for being such a lovely and wonderful crowd. Hope you have a lovely day ahead. Thank you.